This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what is poppin' with you? It's your boy. Sorry I had a little bit of a glitch there with my sound, and you probably hear the thunder roaring behind me. It's about to storm here where I'm at. So if you hear the thunder, don't worry about it. I'm good. Hopefully the power don't go out while I'm going live. But anyway, the New York Knicks tonight, ladies and gentlemen, they take on the Detroit Pistons, and the Detroit Pistons, of course, have Cade Cunningham. And I know Knicks fans, all fans, are looking forward to see Cade Cunningham. And I think tonight, Knicks fans are looking forward to seeing Deuce McBride, who's been one of the darlings of the Summer League for the New York Knicks, face off against Cade Cunningham. Deuce McBride, ladies and gentlemen, over the last 2 games, he's averaged 18 points a game. He's been knocking it down from the three-point line. He's been playing tremendous defense. And when I say tremendous defense, ladies and gentlemen, you can just watch this. It's like he enjoys, he loves it. He loves the challenge of being able to stop somebody and shut somebody down in his tracks. And ladies and gentlemen, Deuce McBride is making an impression on the coaching staff. I know this for a fact. I'm sure you know this for a fact. But he is making an impression on the New York Knicks coaching staff. He's making a case to be named as that third point guard behind Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose. And he comes from basketball royalty, ladies and gentlemen. His father, Walter McBride, he played basketball in college, played a little bit of pro ball. He was a shooting guard, 6'5", a little bit taller than Deuce. And according to his dad, he thinks Deuce might grow another inch. And whether or not he grows an inch, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, that was according to the New York Post. His dad did an interview with the New York Post. Whether or not Deuce grows another inch, the kid can flat out play basketball. Flat out play basketball, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks right now, they're 2-1 in the Summer League. According to Las Vegas odds, the Knicks were the favorites to win the championship in Summer League. And I hope they do. Because let me tell you, a lot of people don't hold a lot of stock in Summer League. I disagree. I do. I think Summer League is very important. When it comes down to learning the system, establishing a culture, establishing an identity, or letting the players know, your new players know what the identity of the team is, it's important. Winning the championship, that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. But establishing who you are as a team is very important. And you want to let young guys know, coming into your team, that this is how we play and this is who we are. And if you don't get on board now, see ya. You're gone. So you better get on board right now and be ready to play right now. Play defense. Hustle. Work hard. Those are the type of things that you're establishing during Summer League. And then, of course, guys like Emmanuel quickly get a chance to run the team as the primary guard. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is invaluable. Because, like I said earlier, we're looking for that third guard. Behind Walker, behind Rose. It's going to be either Quickly or Deuce McBride. And for Quickly, a guy who came into the league known more as a shooter and a scorer than a guy that can actually facilitate or be your general out there on the floor, it's important for him to get these reps as a general and have the coach talking to him as the leader, because that's what's happening right now. The coaching staff is looking to Immanuel Quickly as the leader out there on the floor, and somewhat Obi Toppin as well. But Immanuel Quickly as the leader. So it's invaluable for him to get that experience on a professional level. And so far, barring the first game, I didn't like the way Immanuel Quickly played in the first game. So barring the first game, the last 2 games, I think he's done a really, really good job. He's gotten better and better each game. And when I say better and better, I don't mean just scoring the basketball. I mean, he's gotten better and better as a point guard, as a general, as a leader out there on the floor. You're seeing him in the previous game instructing people, telling people where to go, where to be, and why to be there. And he does this, and this I think is important because I've seen a lot of point guards. I've coached a lot of players, and I've seen a lot of point guards. And one thing that point guards do, sometimes young point guards, is they'll call out the play or the set or whatever it is that they're calling out. And before they allow players to get set, they start the play, right? Because they want to, they're young. They're kind of in a rush. They want to get it going. They want to get it moving. They don't want to wait around. And sometimes that throws off the timing of the set or the play that you're calling. But what I've seen from Immanuel Quickly so far, over these past 2 games at least, let me say that, is he's being patient. He'll call out a set, a play, or whatever it is that they have, or whatever lingo they use, and then he'll wait for the team to actually get set, and then he'll begin to implement that play. And I think that's very important. It's important for timing. It's important for, just the structure of the team so that people know where to be, when to be, and why. And it's important for the timing of the play. So Immanuel Quickly is doing those things, and he is learning. And I think he'll continue to get better at it. I hope that he'll continue to get better at it. We've seen Deuce McBride also run this point guard spot. Normally, so far, when you're looking at the rotations of the Summer League, IQ will go out, Deuce McBride to take over, and they'll come in with Vildoza or Jakobitis. And Deuce McBride then becomes the floor general. And I do believe that Deuce McBride does a very good job in his floor generalship. Obviously, he has a lot to learn about what Tom Thibodeau wants, what the coaching staff wants. Understanding, not that he doesn't understand the plays, but, understanding the plays. A point guard needs to understand the plays in depth, right? A point guard, this is the hard thing about being a point guard. A point guard needs to understand what his role is, what the shooting guard's role is, what the small forward's role is, what the power forward's role is, and what the center's role is. Even if you are a scoring guard, because there's a lot of people that say you don't need that kind of a point guard today. Damian Lillard's and Steph Curry's and them guys, they score the basketball. But you know what? Those guys have a high enough IQ that they understand what everyone else is supposed to be doing, so they can make adjustments on the floor. That is the challenge of young players. You see, all the other positions, they don't really have to worry about that. Your point guard, or let me say your floor leader, has to worry about that. Because LeBron James is a small forward in category, but he's the floor leader, right? And so he knows where everybody needs to be. He understands what their roles are and what they're supposed to be doing on the floor. And it makes it easier for him to execute offense and defense, and also instruct and lead and direct traffic out there on the floor. This is the challenge of point guards. young point guards, they've got to learn and understand, I've got to know what everybody is doing so that I can direct them where to be and where to go at the right time. And I know what play to call. Your point guard has to understand each person's emotions, each person's character, right? Because when you're a good point guard, you might have 20, but you might realize, Emmanuel quickly might be on the floor and realize Quentin Grimes hasn't gotten a shot yet. I need to try to get this man a shot. Or Quentin Grimes is looking down every time we come up the floor because he's not made a shot. Let me call out a play specifically for him so I could try to get him involved. These are the things that I'm talking about from a point guard. And you know what? I think Emmanuel quickly is doing some of those things. But Deuce McBride also has the ability to do it. He has the ability to do it. And I'm looking forward to the battle between those two in training camp. That's going to be an electric battle, I think. Obviously, we're not going to see it on the outside, but we'll hear about it. And it's going to be positive for both players. Right? Positive for both players because, one, they're going to challenge each other. They're going to get each other better. Right? Two, obviously it's going to make the team better. But both of these guys, I expect, are going to play. Right? So while they're going to be challenging each other to see who gets the most minutes, and from the beginning, I believe it's going to be Emmanuel quickly. Next, they're challenging to see who's going to get the most minutes. But within that team locker room, you got some bragging rights within that team locker room. It's going to be good. It's going to be good for the team, for the Ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and I apologize for the delay, but somehow, some way, the power went out, then it came back, then it went out again, and now it's back, and hopefully it's back for good. And we were in the middle of talking about Emmanuel Quickly and Miles McBride and their training camp battling. I'm going to do an entire special on not just those two players, but on Emmanuel Quickly, Miles McBride, Nerlens Noel, Mitchell Robinson. There's going to be some training camp battles to look out for, ladies and gentlemen. And Jericho Sims will be in that training camp battle. I forgot where I was at. I know we were talking about that, but I forgot exactly where I was at. So we're going to move forward, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, in about 13 minutes, the Knicks take on the Detroit Pistons on NBA TV. All right, on NBA TV. And Cade Cunningham, he's the guy that everyone's looking out for, ladies and gentlemen. Cade Cunningham, he's averaging 16 points per game. Obviously, he's leading the Detroit Pistons in scoring. No surprise there. The Knicks are led by Emmanuel Quickly. I guess there's not a surprise there either. You know what I mean? You would have thought it would be Emmanuel Quickly or Obi Toppin. Right now it's Emmanuel Quickly. He had 32 in one of those games. I mean, Emmanuel Quickly's, listen, he's been shooting efficiently. The first game he didn't play well. Since then, he's been shooting efficiently, been trying to find ways to get people to basketball. Right. And it's not just the assists. I don't care about the assist numbers. It's the manner in which he's doing it. But Emmanuel Quickly's averaging 24 points per game for the New York Knicks. Cade Cunningham, he's averaging 16. Obi Toppin, he's averaging 9.3 rebounds per game. I love it. I love the fact that Obi Toppin is rebounding the basketball. I want and need him to continue to rebound the basketball. Sadiq Bey is leading the Detroit Pistons in rebounds at 9.5 rebounds per game. Quickly is leading the Knicks in assists at 7.7. And then you got Killian Hayes, a Frenchman. He's averaging 4 assists a game for for the Detroit Pistons. And I am very interested to see how those two guys look next to each other, Cade Cunningham and Killian Hayes. It seems as though that's going to be the backcourt of the future for the Detroit Pistons. And then you got Sadiq Bey. He was also a rookie last year. All right, so both of these teams are playing with former rookies and some star rookies. All right, Justin Patton is leading the Knicks in blocks. At 1 block per game. And Sekou Doumbouya is leading the Detroit Pistons with 3 blocks per game. The Knicks average 88 points per game, while the Pistons are averaging 81.5. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, there's only 10 minutes per quarter. Okay, so in those 10 minutes, this is what these teams are doing. So it's not a full, they play 40 minutes per game. The Knicks are averaging 33.7 rebounds per game. The Pistons are averaging 42. I would like to see the Knicks get to the boards a little bit more. Of course, Obi Toppin, Jericho Sims. But some of those other guys that are coming off the bench and are playing for, they're not going to get a spot on the Knicks, but are playing for other teams, you better get your ass out there and rebound the basketball. I do want to give a shout out to Quentin Grimes because he's been rebounding well. He had 9 rebounds in the previous game. He hasn't been shooting well, but he's been rebounding well. And I will say with Quentin Grimes, I'm going to get back to the stats in a minute. I will say with Quentin Grimes, he does not let his bad shooting impact the remainder of his game. Okay? He continues to play hard, play defense, rebound the basketball, and he continues to shoot the basketball, which I like. If he's going to be a shooter, shooters got to shoot. He continues to shoot the basketball regardless of whether or not he's making it or missing it. And I'm pretty sure the coaching staff is telling him to continue to shoot. The Knicks are averaging 18.3 assists per game and 12.5 assists for the Detroit Pistons. 5.7 steals for the Knicks, 8.5 steals for the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks are averaging 2.7 blocks per game. It's kind of low, but you don't have a lot of shot blockers on the team. That's the one thing about Jericho Sims. He's a big body. I love it. I like that he can spread the floor vertically, much like Mitchell Robinson can. I like that he can put the ball on the floor when need be. He's shown that he has good footwork around the rim. He's shown that he's able to, maybe one day he can develop a little bit of a post game. And he wasn't afraid to shoot the 3 in the previous game. Okay? But he hasn't shown that he's a big-time shot blocker. He affects shots. He makes players change shots. But he's not a big-time shot blocker. The New York Knicks are averaging 13.3 turnovers per game, while the Pistons are averaging 18 turnovers. The Knicks are shooting 43.9% from the field, 41.8% for the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks are shooting 32.7% from the three-point line, while the Pistons are shooting 21.9% from the three-point line. That bodes well for the Knicks because we all know how the Knicks play defense. The Knicks, the goal for the New York Knicks defense is to stop the paint play and not let a team dominate the paint and give up the 3. Right? So they play the odds. A team like the Pistons that are shooting 21.9%, now they could get hot. They could. But I don't know if they will. So this plays right into the New York Knicks' hands as far as what they like to do defensively. The Knicks average 84.3% from the free throw line, while the Pistons are at 62.8%. In the paint, the Knicks are averaging 34.7 points in the paint. The Pistons, 42 points in the paint. The Knicks, 11.7 second chance points, and the Pistons, 14.5. The Knicks are averaging 10.3 fast break points per game, and the Pistons are averaging 14 fast break points per game. I want to rewind for a second and go back to the shooting percentages. And I want to tell people, please do not be alarmed. You should expect that teams are going to not shoot well from the three-point line from the field in Summer League. All right? Because it's Summer League, and you're playing with rookies, and you're also playing with second-year players who probably did not shoot well because they're young players. So don't be alarmed. Yes, I know we were supposed to be bringing in shooters and things like that, but it's Summer League. Guys are getting adjusted to the game. As time moves on and goes on, they'll become better shooters. Quentin Grimes is who I'm talking about specifically, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say don't be alarmed. Just let him play. Don't worry about him. He does a lot of the little things that you want to see. The shot hasn't fallen for him yet. I think it will. I think he still does have to learn that he's not an uber athlete. If he hasn't already, he needs to learn it now. He's not an uber athlete. He's a guy that's got to use craftiness, use basketball IQ to get a shot off. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. That's the way it goes when you get into the NBA. Every time you step up a level, you meet better competition, which means you've got to adjust your game a little bit. Somehow, some way, you got to adjust your game. And sometimes adjusting your game means that you accept the fact that you're maybe not as talented or athletic as other players. There's nothing wrong with that. You figure out a way to succeed anyway. Your best players do it. Of course, some of your best players just have this uber talent and they can jump over anybody and they're faster than everybody and all that kind of stuff. But not everybody is that way. Look at Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was never the fastest or the strongest or could jump as high as everybody, but he was smarter than everyone, right? Some of that was natural basketball ability and IQ. Some of that he learned from studying. So if you're a guy like Quentin Grimes, you got to look at players like a Jason Kidd or, some other people who didn't have this uber super duper talent and say, okay, how did they succeed? What did they do to succeed? And you figure out what you do, what you can do to succeed. Gmo brought it up. Gmo from Legion and Knicks brought it up the other day. One of the things that Quentin Grimes does when he has the basketball is he still thinks he's getting all the way to the cup. He wants to get all the way to the cup. It's going to happen sometimes, but not all the time. And I think a lot of times he's going to be stopped short. So I think Quentin Grimes has got to learn a step back move. Learn how to use your body to bump the guy off and fade away. Those little crafty type of things are going to help him get his shot off. But I just want to say, don't worry about it. Don't be upset. Don't be mad. Don't call him a bum. Don't say that we wasted the pick. Just let it play out. Let's see what he does. Let's see if he adjusts his game and learns how to play against faster, stronger, and more athletic players. I think he will. He did it once, and I think he'll do it again. All right, so I just want to say, don't be worried about Quentin Grimes. Now, we talked about Obi a little bit in his rebounding. I think I talked about it in the last game, in the last show. Did a post-game show when I said, I want to see Obi go straight to the basket. That's something that I'm looking forward to today. I don't want to see him jump in the air and try to swing the ball around in the air, rock-a-bye baby and all of this crazy stuff. I just want him to go straight to the glass. Go straight to the glass, try to dunk it. Don't play around with it. All right, just go straight to the glass. Because look, he's a decent enough free throw shooter. If he goes straight to the glass, he's going to get fouled. If he doesn't get fouled, oh well, he doesn't get fouled. But if he goes straight to the glass, a lot of times he's going to get fouled because there's not that many people that can jump with Obi Toppin. Go to the glass, try to dunk it. If you don't dunk it, it is what it is. You try to dunk it, you miss it, oh well. But all the rock-a-bye baby stuff, we don't need to see that. Use your strength. And this is what I think young players have to learn. Most young players have to learn is how to use your strength. Play to your strengths. If you can jump, then use your jumping ability. If you're fast, then use your speed. If you got a killer mid-range jump shot like Miles McBride, then use that mid-range jump shot, right? Use what the talents that you have and then expand upon it. Obi Toppin can jump. So jump over people. I want to see Obi also, we've seen him in a few post-up situations in the Summer League, and he's been able to score. But every time he's posted up a player, it's been against somebody much smaller than him. And he's been successful. And that's good. It's always good when you see success from a player. I want to see him do it against somebody his size. Because what I've seen so far is against smaller players, he has, a two-dribble, a two-dribble boom, boom, and then a drop step towards the basket, spinning back towards the basket. And basically, that's what he does. I want to see him do that against a player his height and size and strength. And then I need to see him, and this is not this summer, but in the future, he's got to develop some counters. That's one move. When you play against better players, stronger players your size, and if you start posting those guys up, they're going to understand and know, okay, all he's going to do is drop back towards the basket. That's his only move. Obi's got to start to develop some counters to that move. Right? Then, instead of dropping back, maybe you fake like you're going to drop back and continue going forward and knock down the jump hook. Get yourself a little shimmy in there. Something. He needs a couple other moves. It starts with the footwork. Right? It starts with the footwork. Get the footwork down. And then you can start to add in some of those shimmies and those type of things. But I want to see Obi, again, go straight to the cup when you get that chance. Don't rock-a-bye, baby. None of that. Just go straight to the glass. Try to dunk it on somebody. To get a chance to post up, I want to see those post-up moves. I want to continue to see him do it, post up, but do it against bigger, stronger players. And I'd also like to see him with that a little pop-up jump shot. A little mid-range, just bop, bop, bang. And it doesn't have to be off of, him creating it off the dribble. It can be, him slicing to the basket, then one dribble, catch it, one dribble, and then pull up and knock down that jump shot. He can jump so high that if he can develop a mid-range pull-up, either off of two dribbles or a slice to the basket, one dribble and then pull up, he can get up so high that nobody else can jump with him. Nobody else can get up there. I don't know if he has the dexterity or the fluidity in his game to do that. But we will see. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking forward to this matchup. Cade Cunningham versus, the Knicks guards, I guess. And maybe you want to say Emmanuel Quickly and Deuce McBride versus Cade Cunningham and Killian Hayes. And then you got Sadiq Bey versus Obi Toppin. This should be a fun game. Should really be a fun game. Looking forward to it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you go because the game is about to start. So I'm going to let you get on up out of air. I'm going to get out of here and watch the game. Thank you for sticking with me as my power went down and all of that. We got back on and we're ready to rock. But I'm going to go ahead and get to the game. Catch me after the game, about 10:30, 11 o'clock, as we do a post-game show and break down what we saw during the game and get ready for the next game, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your time. Be safe out there. If it's storming where you're at, be safe. I'm out of here. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. Tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.